The opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of the Barbers Chat Network, our great partners at H&B Media, or any of our media peers. We're just five idiots who love sports and love to talk shit. If you're offended easily, then this show isn't for you. And for those of you who aren't offended easily, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Remember, it's only entertainment.
So cool.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, this like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. I am your host, Scott Lewis. Of course, you can follow me at Barberchair Scott on all social media platforms. Follow the Barberchair Network at BarberschairNet on all social media platforms as well. Visit our Patreon at patreon.com/Barberchair Network. Follow our partners. Show the places you can watch the show at each and every week. H&B Media TV. Follow them at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram, man. And of course, visit the bcnet.com. That is the one-stop shop for everything, all Barbers Chat Network. Get all your videos, get all your podcasts, all the articles that we do, everything like that. That is the one-stop shop, man. So we appreciate y'all for supporting us each and every week. And yeah, man, it is Friday, July 12th, 2024, man. We've got a pretty good show for y'all on deck today. No Dante, he is out on PTO. Courtney will be joining us in the second hour. And happy birthday to our guy Mikey, man. Mikey celebrating his birthday yesterday, so he is out of town right now enjoying that. So both of them, all three of them, will be back next week. Next week we'll be going live on Thursday instead of Friday. I will be traveling on Fridays, so I can't do it at our usual time on Friday. So we're gonna do the show Thursday night for y'all instead, man. So yeah, I'm gonna bring in my co-host today that is here today, Mr. JR Bang. Bang, how's it going, brother?
I'm all right, man. It's Friday, feeling good. You know what I'm saying? Great show prepared today to entertain and educate and all of that. Except I ain't gonna be here for the baseball part.
Well, actually, there's no baseball part there. I took that
there's
off.
not no baseball part?
Yeah, because who else is gonna talk with it? Like I had that for the local hour, but
I could have did the
Dante's not here.
I could have did the Paul Schemes.
Well, I
That's
didn't even
his
put that
last
on
name,
there. I'm gonna be real. I don't even know who that nigga is. I didn't know who that nigga was till yesterday.
See,
You know, the crazy thing about the off-season shows is I thought I was gonna have a problem getting content each week, but I actually had to cut stuff off. Like we had to cut a lot of fat off this show today. We'll save some for next week. But yeah, I was like,
Hey,
oh,
man.
that's the nigga on the Pirates. I saw
Yeah,
the guys
that's-
that talking
yup.
about him this morning.
yeah,
So-
see the nigga on the Pirates. He got announced as the starter of the All-Star game, the first rookie to be drafted number 1, and then the next year he start the All-Star game. I learned that today.
Big shout out to that brother right there, man. We've got a lot to get into today. Of course, Larry Legend will be joining us in about 40 minutes, man. We'll respect the culture. So let's just get in, man. Let's get into we're gonna have the local segment to start off today. As you see it, we got it right here.
It's the local hour.
There we go. It was gonna be the local hour today, but like I said, we had to trim the fat off it because we got to be out here by a certain time today. It is the local segment today, man, and we're starting off the show with this. And I think that I might actually start the show with the local hour when the football season starts. We're trying to see, you know,
Don't be popular enough.
what Mikey's timing is gonna be like. But 9 times out of 10, we're probably going to do that. You guys are all going to want to hear about the Bears and things like that. So we might as well just get into it with that. So Let's get into it. I'm gonna get in my media engagement bag, I guess you want to call it, man. So we are officially 7 days away from report day for the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears will be having interviews and things like that on Friday the 19th. My brother Flows, one half of 79th and Hallis podcast. He will be at Hallis Hall live for y'all, taking care of all the interviews here from Caleb Williams, from Matt Eberflus, Ryan Poles, everybody there. You're gonna hear from them all day. He's gonna have the updates. Like I said, I will be traveling on the 19th, so I will not be there for report day, but I will be there for the first weekend of camp, and I will pretty much be at every camp practice except for the weekend. I'm not doing weekend camp practice outside of the opening weekend because, nigga, I need a break. And there's something about training camp. Training camp is crazy because even for the media, it feels like you did something because you're in the heat all day. You're there from like 7:30 in the morning to like 3 sometimes, and that's not including the 2 hours of traffic it takes to get back into the city. See, I'm not doing that on the weekend, so we're gonna be having all that. So in a week from now, everything's gonna be turned up, but still no contract signed. Caleb Williams has not signed this contract yet. Rome Odunze has not signed this contract yet. So I'm gonna do the typical media man. Are you worried?
No, I'm not worried yet. He's the number 1 pick in the draft, and then have the domino. And then normally you would see a lot of first round picks signed, and I haven't seen that. And maybe I might have missed it. I haven't gotten any alerts or anything, so it just feels like to me there's a number of first round picks that haven't signed their contracts. I've seen everybody. But them. So if that's the case, no, I'm not worried, especially when it comes to Caleb, because Caleb sets the market for the rookie scale. So I ain't worried at all. I feel good. And then plus he knows the playbook. This is not like a situation where he's going to come up in there and still have to like learn. And you got to hurry up and speed some stuff up. So I'm not worried right now. But if training camp starts next week, and if we don't hear anything by Monday, then I'm a little bit nervous.
So you mean like by the Monday after the first weekend of camp, or this coming Monday?
The day before the camp starts.
Okay, so basically by the time they have report day on Friday, if you don't hear nothing about it,
If I don't hear anything by report day, then I'm a little nervous. But because this is a different situation, I'm not as worried as I would have been like if Caleb would have been the 11th pick or the 5th pick or whatever. He's had the playbook and everything, since before the draft. This is a different situation. We're not used to this. So I'm not really worried.
I'll put it like this, man. I don't think I'm really going to be worried about this at all. And the reason I say that is because Brian Poles didn't bring us this far to fuck it up. If there's anybody who I'm not, worried about in like at all, it will be Rome Odunze. Like Rome has an agent. Rome isn't the number 1 draft pick. He isn't the first big, the first huge talent out of the NIL era that Caleb Williams is. He isn't the prince that was promised. I think that's going to be something that's going to be announced very, very quickly. And not saying that Caleb's won't be announced very, very quickly either. But I'm not worried because Ryan Poles, like I said, isn't going to fuck this up. He's not going to be going back to back with Caleb over something egregious. You did all this stuff since you got here to get this kid. So now you got him. What, you going to shaft him on rookie, on money? We know that's not going to happen. I think what's going to take a longer time with Caleb more than anything is, number one, he doesn't have an agent. And I think the last couple quarterbacks who didn't have agents, or last couple players in general who didn't have agents, obviously it wasn't that big of a deal because they were able to get the money they're worth. Lamar Jackson was one of them. So I'm not saying it's a big deal in that, even though I do think an agent will help in other areas that have more to do than just a contract. It's going to take a little bit longer with that. And since he is the first NIL quarterback, I think he's going to be asking for some stuff that not your normal quarterback has been asked for. Remember, he's already a multimillionaire. You know, he was in Heisman commercials. This nigga was in a Wendy's commercial all last season. So he has money. You've never seen a rookie with a penthouse downtown Los Angeles. He got money. So it's going to be more about money here. It's going to be less about money here and the other things that go with it. So I'll say this: I'm not going to be worried this entire thing, because one, he's not going to sit out. He even said that in the last time we talked to him that he's worried about the playbook. He'll let the contract figure itself out. And on top of that, man, like, you know, there's no way I can see this going super bad. Now, we'll say this: if we get through a full week of camp, then it's going to become a topic. I'm not saying I'm going to worry about it, but it's definitely going to become news in Chicago, and Caleb's going to get his first dose of the Chicago media. What do you think he kind of understands what's going to happen with this first thing?
Yeah, I think he understands it. I think Caleb has been very well prepared through this whole situation and prepared enough to where if there is anything that's a bit weird or whatever, I think they're prepared for it. And I think the Bears are prepared for it too. I think you're right. He's the first NIL quarterback. He it was reported, alleged that he was already asking for some outlandish stuff, but he's made a promise that he would be there for the start of training camp. Now, you know, the lesser promises have been broken when it comes to sports. Just go ask Kyrie about how his promise, or at least asking Boston fans if he could stay with the Celtics, was going to work. That motherfucker was gone like the next year. So, yeah, there's not anything to make me nervous, but from a content standpoint, and as we say, content is king. As the time ticks to when training camp starts, is going to be fodder on sports radio about when is Caleb going to sign, and then if it gets down to the wire, then it becomes, all right, cool. Is he being a prima donna? Is he asking for too much? Is he doing this? Is he doing that? All of those things that popped up before the draft is going to start popping back up. And I don't think the Bears nor Caleb want that, at least.
Yeah, 100%. That the Hollywood claims, and he thinks he's bigger than the team. All the things they got quieted towards the end of the draft process will definitely come back up if he doesn't sign. I would be very surprised if it got to that point. Even if you look at everything that Ryan Poles has done in his contract negotiations, the players that he didn't sign, it's usually because they were asking for a lot more than he wanted to give. And with a situation with a quarterback who you drafted, who you're putting your job on the line from, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I think that's, like you just said, I think it's the language and the other things outside of money. It was probably holding this thing up. But for content purposes, it would be good. For content purposes, we can have y'all panic.
Content purposes, boy, the ratings gonna go up. And now that we're about to get into football, what better way for the ratings to go up to talk about a contract thing? So that's we're good. We're good. I don't think we have nothing to worry about. Matter of fact, shouts out to the big homie Jay Hood. He said, I said on the show that Caleb and Rome are waiting for Hard Knocks to sign in front of the cameras. I'm hoping. Hey, that would be ratings grabber. Yeah. Ratings grabber. So you might,
that would be a good one. They've already made their Hard Knocks debuts. They were on the Giants Hard Knocks this past week.
Right. Which was great, by the way.
When it got announced, I was like, who wants to see an off-season, especially on the Giants? No, this is football porn, my nigga. Like, it is incredible. Like, GMs be talking, like, I be talking when I'm doing fantasy football trades. Like, it was crazy. Like, to see how, like, the whole process was dope. And we'll talk about receiver, too, in hour 2. I got some takes on that. I finally finished it a couple hours ago. I think it'll be something that'll be handled real quickly. I think there's not any panic in Bears Twitter yet, but this lingers in the camp. It's gonna come out. It's gonna come out.
Though.
Yeah, and too, at media day on Friday, if there's no contract signs, those are gonna be the first questions that's gonna be asked. My man Jason Leisure, he gonna go at it. Potash is gonna be at it. Courtney Cronin, I know my brother's gonna have a couple questions, so. I'm pretty sure that Caleb and Poles want to get something done before Friday, but we're going to see how that goes, man. Let's move on to our next topic. We're running a little bit of a hurry-up offense today. We're not rushing the show, obviously. We're still going to give y'all 2 hours of that good shit. But we're speeding up a little bit. Sometimes we've been on CP time the last couple weeks.
And it's usually 2 of us. We ain't got to split talking time with 4 people. Shit.
Exactly. Let's talk about for the last time in the local our guy, Mr. Demar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan is officially a member of the Sacramento Kings. He signed I think it's 3-year. Actually, I don't have the contract in front of me, which is pretty fucking hilarious. The nigga signed for a lot of money. the nigga signed for a lot of money. I think it's like a 3-year deal. I know it was a 3-team trade that happened for the Kings to be able to create space to get in. Also, because the Bulls didn't want to take on any added contracts. They're obviously on the road to trying to rebuild and be all in for Cooper Flag. And I was gonna talk about it today.
Jag for Flag.
Hey man, I was gonna talk about that
Pause.
nigga today. I'm gonna wait till next week when we got the full crew. But hey man, I seen enough.
Jag
for Flag. Pause. Because
yeah,
that nigga, man, yeah. So they didn't want to take on contracts. They got 2 second rounders from the Sacramento Kings, which they definitely need. And a very underrated part of this trade, Harrison Barnes is going to the Spurs. Now, the Spurs, to me, just put together a team that I believe they can win 40 games. With having Harrison Barnes on there. This Spurs team wasn't as bad as their record showed last year. They won a whole bunch of games. Wemby was amazing. You got year 2 Wemby with Popovich and Chris Paul. As much as I can't stand that State Farm agent, he's going to help Wemby out tremendously. And also, I think Chris has been waiting to be coached by a coach the caliber of Greg Popovich. So I think adding Harrison Barnes, that they can be a 40-win, maybe even a play-in team. So that's good for them. But what do you think about DeMar's fit with the Kings now? They have them a little baby big 3 with DeMar, Domantas Sabonis, and De'Aaron Fox. And obviously, DeMar called rank because he's wearing number 10 and Sabonis is giving that number up. So what do you think about DeMar in Sac?
I'll say this: you don't want to play this team and have to deal with crunch time, because if you let the stats tell it and the award tell it, you're dealing with 2 of the most clutch players in the NBA, and DeMar DeRozan and De'Aaron Fox. So you don't want to be in a close game in the fourth quarter going up against these 2 right here, because you're probably not going to win if you look at the numbers. I love the fit. I think that not only that the Kings needed a vet, they needed somebody like DeMar. They needed somebody that's a vet that won in this league and can still play in this league. He might be gearing closer to the downside of his career, but if you look at his last couple of years with the Bulls, he's been a high caliber player. So I love this fit for the team. He's not gonna play a lot of defense. Let's get that out the way right now. He ain't gonna play a lot of defense, but just don't worry about this team in the fourth quarter, because they have the arms and the legs to get it done. So I'm excited. I am a Kings fan. I thought that this team was on the cusp. But at the same time, I did predict that they was going to have a down year this year because people are going to catch up. But now you have somebody like DeMar on this team and not necessarily lose much. You lose a Harrison Barnes. It's an upgrade. So I am excited to see what's going to happen with this team going forward in this new kind of retooled Western Conference.
Yeah, and I like it too, because now you're actually going to see DeMar with spacing, something the nigga did not have in Chicago. They have 3-point shooters, man. They just re-signed Malik Monk. They got a lot of good guys on that team. And you brought up the fourth quarter thing. I think that's going to help tremendously, because I think unlike him and Zach, who are, I won't say kind of the same player, they're not, but they kind of play the same position a little bit. De'Aaron is a point guard, and De'Aaron's been incredible in the fourth quarter, and they're going to be able to bounce off each other, and I think that's going to be really great for them. I think that DeMar it's going to be perfect for him. He's going to be, even though Sacramento's not Los Angeles, but he's back in his home state. And he's going to be out there just being relaxed and being able to hoop more. And he has a chance to win. And what I mean by win is to get in the playoffs, win a series. Like, they're not a championship contender. They're not in the Denver, OKC, Dallas type tier.
But see, Scott, I'm not going to quite agree with you.
Okay.
The only reason why is because I think that because of what the NBA was trying to achieve, which is NFL type parity, I think that's where they was going. I think for a number of teams on the East and the West, it's a crapshoot because one of the things that we've seen is injury take place here. For example, the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks was a 6 seed and they ended up in the finals. That
That's
shouldn't have
true.
took place. But at the same time, when you don't have big threes on every teams and things are not even, an injury or two here or there, and you can find yourself in the Eastern or the Western Conference Finals. So I do believe that with this move, they move into one of those teams that can at least get to the Western Conference Finals, depending on how the dice roll. And with injuries and all of those things, and some of those teams like the Clippers is not going to be as good as they were last year,
Yeah, I don't know.
and
I
that
don't know
says a
what the
lot.
Clippers are doing. Yeah.
Right, and that says a lot because they was they was a 4th, 5th seed. So you're gonna see some teams take a step down. You're gonna see some teams move up, and you have teams like Dallas. I mean, as much as I love Clay, I don't know how that fit is gonna be between Clay, Luka, and Kyrie. That's gonna be very interesting because he's with 2 ball dominant players.
Yeah.
Like they are ball dominant. They don't want to pass you the ball if they don't have to. So he gonna have to play the Dale Curry role for
Oh
real.
yeah. I think he's gonna be a spot up shooter
Yeah,
because
he's a
one
spot up
nigga can't
student.
dribble no more. I
Yeah,
mean,
so
you bring a good point. They can kind of take the Clipper spot right there, even the Mavs spot. 'Cause I do believe the Mavs bounce up into that elite tier in the West now. I'm not really too worried about Clay as far as fit. I'm worried about whether Clay gonna make shots, but his style of game, I think he's gonna be a corner 3-point shooter, which he basically is.
when
Now.
his
The nigga
ass is
can't
over there at the
guard.
corner doing this,
Yeah,
and Kyrie out here trying to out dribble somebody, and Luka mad because somebody ain't called no foul, we'll see. Hey, when you on a team where you just know where everybody's gonna be at a certain time, now you're going to a whole new. It's going to be an adjustment. So, because of those things, I can see the Kings being a top 5 seed at the very least.
well, I think they were a 2 seed year before this, so I definitely
Yep.
think that in order for Mike Brown to keep his job, that definitely has to happen. But yeah, I like the move. I actually like the move for all 3 teams. The Bulls needed picks. And the Spurs get Harrison Barnes. That's a good piece for them. And DeMar goes to the Kings. Man, the only thing that kind of I won't say annoyed me, but we're seeing the effects of a hit song where we're doing corny things, but not like us. With a little video with the owner of the King said, "Yeah, they're not like us." Like, and you
Oh
know
yeah.
the corny joke that Serena made, even though I will allow it. She had possession of the ball when it crossed the pylon. She has a personal vendetta with Drake, so we'll let and she from Compton.
But the Caucasian co-op is on the way.
The Caucasian co-op. What is
The
that?
cau they about to co-opt the movement, the not like us movement.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
The Caucasian co-op is on
Yeah,
the
when
way.
you get a
For
number 1 song, that happens. It's
that
expected to be
happens.
back to being number 1 on the Billboard chart on Monday. So, yeah, man. But I like the move for that, man.
Hey, real quick, because I saw a couple of people throw out some list of where DeMar fits all time on the Bulls. I saw somebody rank him as 9th. I can't remember who it was.
What,
Shit,
like
it
as
was
far as
probably
like
Hood.
all time Bulls?
Yeah, it's probably Hood that says.
Well, I
I
know
don't know, but
Hood said that he's second in Bulls and second points per game in Bulls history. Only MJ was higher at 30 points per game. I mean, he's already on my top. He's on my top 5 favorite Bulls list. That's the thing about the Bulls, as Pappy said 4 years ago, which I hated, but when the nigga's right, they don't have that many legendary players. It's not a lot. It's Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Rodman, D Rose, nigga. Like,
I mean, the OGs will tell you Artis Gilmore, Chet
Okay.
Walker, and all of those people. So I mean, I want to give respect to the OGs. I don't want to
Respect to the OGs.
before
R.I.P. Chet
Orlando say
Walker.
something. Before Orlando say something, them niggas is way older than me, my nigga. Like
Yeah,
my
that nigga
middle
wasn't old
name,
enough to
my
watch them.
middle name. I wasn't named after Artis Gilmore, but my middle name is that nigga name. So, and I wasn't around to see that nigga hoop. So don't try it, Orlando.
Yeah, man, but salute to DeMar. He's already one of my favorite. And I wasn't a fan of DeMar before he came to the Bulls, so that says a lot. Final topic in the local segment before we talk about some USA basketball. Miss Angel Reese, man, she is having a hell of a rookie campaign right now. She has had 15 straight double-doubles, which is a WNBA record. Did not look like she was going to get it the other night in Brooklyn against the Liberty. She only had 5 rebounds coming into the fourth quarter, but she came up on a tear. Now, they did lose that game because the Liberty on a whole different tier of team, but she got a double-double. And she is currently averaging 13 points and 11 rebounds per game. She has been having a lot of 20 and 12 type games over the streak as well. And, hey, man, it's a battle between her and Caitlin Clark for that Rookie of the Year. And she's going to have a break coming up in a little bit with the Olympics coming up because she's not going to be playing. Obviously, Caitlin Clark isn't going to be playing. But, man, I love everything about Angel Reese and you know, what she's brought to the Chicago Sky. I love the identity that the Chicago Sky are slowly putting together. They're really becoming real aggressive and, you know, what's the old school hard hat lunch pail type of team. You know, you got Kennedy Carter. She's the one putting up the bucket. She's really stepped up this year as well. But Angel, she's doing so much in her rookie year. And the one thing that's really impressive about it is how much basketball she's played. Not just her, but all these ladies who just got drafted into the WNBA, because WNBA picks off not too far after the women's national championship. And she started off a little rough offensively, in my opinion. I feel like she's coming around with that. And this city is the best fit for her because it encapsulates her identity. She fits right in, and she's talkative, man. We know we like that in the career. We like when our players talk shit, and that's exactly what she does. And I think that she has a real good chance to get this Rookie of the Year. I think they're going to give to Caitlin on some LeBron Melo type shit. Like, we all know Melo should have been a Rookie of the Year in 03, 04. But they gave it to Bronze. I wouldn't be shocked if they did that. Maybe the co-Rookie of the Years that they did with Jason Kidd and Grant Hill might be in play, but she's really putting together a great rookie campaign, and the Sky quietly still in this playoff race. What do you think about what we've seen from Angel these last couple weeks, and, you know, way she's kind of stepped the game up?
When I look at Angel and I look at the Chicago Sky, I think they missing the marketing opportunity. We need a Bad Girls Club type of atmosphere here. We need some Bad Girls Club shirts. We need like the bad girls, like the bad boys. That's who they remind me of as far as how aggressive they are on the court when it comes to the players. They lost to the Liberty, but you got to know and understand that they was going back and forth with the Liberty until the Liberty with their experience and their skills just took off towards the end. But they was neck and neck with them. So when you look at who the Sky is right now, they are a team that would experience and maybe one more player if they could get them a steady point guard. This team with their bigs is going to be, man, they're going to be something to a sight to behold. I think that Angel is out there really doing the work. You see, Orlando says that Spoon needs to remember Cardozo's on the team. I think a lot of that really be around.
They're trying to still ease her back in a little bit.
Right, that's what I was saying. A lot of that feels like they're still trying to ease her in, trying to save her for the back half of the year because there's so much pressure being put on Angel, and she didn't start the year off. Cardozo, she didn't start the year off with the team. She was hurt. So I think on the back half after the All-Star or the Olympic break, you're going to see a lot more of her. But Angel is really becoming not only one of the faces of this young team, but she's quickly becoming one of the faces of the league. Lisa Leslie has said before the season has started, y'all better watch out for her. Once she really gets her offensive game on point, she's probably going to be unstoppable in the paint. And you're talking about Lisa Leslie, who's probably one of the greatest paint players in WNBA history. So, and her seeing that, man, the sky's the limit for her. And then once Cardozo really gets on her square, oh man, I'm looking at them next year. But they're fighting for the AFC, so good experience there.
And they don't own their draft pick, because I know a lot of people was like, yo, either be trash to get Paige. I'm like, first of all, they're not that bad, period, to be able to get Paige. Like, you got teams like Dallas, Atlanta, they're ridiculously bad.
Washington
bad in every sport, nigga. Like, it's just not a good time for watching sports.
Glad I moved.
Yeah, just
Um,
shout out my nigga Nick, man. I'm sorry for y'all teams, but
but as far as that rookie of the year thing, she ain't got no chance. I just don't see it. She can outplay. Don't get me wrong. She
I
can
wish you were wrong. I wish you were wrong, but you probably
like
right.
she can to me right now, when you look at the numbers and when you look at everything right now, to me she's the clear front runner. But
Yeah,
they're not gonna let that happen.
no.
You're right. They're gonna Carmelo this situation. Kaylin, if anything, this is the one thing that I want to know about Kaylin Clark. This is the only thing I want to really know and understand. As a hooper, as a sports player, as somebody who competes, how do you feel about everything being given to you?
Mm.
If they give her that award and she's clearly not being outplayed, she got to look at that award and be like, "Damn, did I earn it?" She got to look at, and I'm not saying that she's not good.
I'll shoot
Just
Kayla
know that.
Bell. She's been playing a lot
Cause
better
she,
lately. Yeah,
yes, because she's been playing it. She's nice, but what I'm saying
yeah.
is, it's going to come to a certain point where she's gonna have to look and be like, "Yo, I'm not the only one. Just because this pressure's on me, that doesn't mean the pressure's not on anybody else." So when you see all of these people say that she's the runaway favorite for the rookie of the year right
Dan
now,
Patrick.
that gotta is and it's more than Dan Patrick. It's more than I saw the Dan Patrick thing before we did the show, but it's more than Dan Patrick. When you start to see that, you got to start to wonder, like, yo, are they just handing shit to me just to hand it? And it's gonna be only so long before they stop handing me shit, and then they turn on me.
Oh, the turn is coming. It's 100%
Like
coming.
that's what I'm going to. I think Kaylin Clark is. I think it is 1A and 1B. You can flip whoever's the 1A and 1B. But it's only gonna be so long before people start turning on you after they've given you everything.
And I think too, man, I think that everything about this on the court has been amazing. I think it's the stuff off the court has been annoying. And it was kind of I'm a big Dan Patrick guy, so there's no disrespect against Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick was one of my 4 favorite old school sports and announcers. It was my man Rich Eisen, my man Stuart Scott, Dan Patrick, my nigga Kenny Man. But he sounded real. I want to say it sounded like, oh, give it to the white woman, but it just sounded like a nigga who ain't watched it. And when Left Coat called him out on it, he got super offensive. Like, did you drink last night? Like, he went peak white man. So I definitely feel like he got called out. When you're a guy who's a legend like he is, he don't like getting called out on shit, man. But you're probably right. It's probably going to go to Kaylin. And Kaylin, even if you ask her that question, she's not going to answer it because she's already got the media training of deflecting stuff. She claims she don't know what's going on Twitter. Like, shorty, you're 23 and you know what's going on social media. You can't pull that card with me at all, man. But I'm get the bad girl shirts though. That would be fire. That would be real fire. Embrace that identity. What's called Angel already had the Joker shoes. Embrace the villain thing. We in the city, we gonna ride with you 100% on that, man. So big shout out to Angel Reese, man. So that concludes the local segment. Next week will be the local hour when we got everybody back on here.
Local segment.
But we've got Larry Legend coming in about 10 minutes. So let's talk about the USAvengers. They assembled a couple days ago. United States, the new dream team, going up against Canada. Canada actually has a full squad now. I think it was Tuesday night or Wednesday night. I think it was Wednesday night. Wednesday night they played in Vegas. U.S. ended up winning 86-72. They started off the game really, really rough. These niggas could not hit a basket whatsoever because they only had 4 days of practice, while Canada's been practicing for like the last 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. And, had a great crowd, man. I think, it's 50 years of USA basketball. So they brought all the legends on the court, and all the women's basketball legends, and all the men's basketball legends. And my man Barry, look, I don't care how many. Look, man, that is my favorite war criminal. Y'all can't make me hate Barack Obama. I look, man, I'm sorry. Y'all need to sit up here, say what y'all want. Barry that nigga. And he look like he's going to be. He was probably outside with D-Wade Mello. He had the buttons down, like he was acting real different because Michelle wasn't with him. Looked like
Barack looked like he owned the 50-yard line at this point.
He owned
Barack looked like he owned the 50-yard line.
You wouldn't be shocked.
Nope.
You would not be shocked whatsoever if you saw Barack in the 50.
Boy, you see Barack stepping with a 40-year-old pretty young thing up in the 40 at the 50-yard line. You already know what it is. He looks like he looked like he primed and ready for a stepper set.
Yeah, 100%. That nigga, and then I just loved how everybody was still excited to see him. Like it's just no president ever has had that aura that he had. And also the Obama, and we're not going to really get into politics like this, but the Obama years is also to give him the courage because it's, white people ain't got over a nigga being in office, as we can see right now. But just see the love he was getting. Even when he came back from halftime, like the entire crowd stood up, like Dawn Staley doing her selfies. It was just real cool to see him on there.
She was nervous as hell taking a selfie. She couldn't even get that shit, so she was nervous. God damn it, shit. How I do this?
And the nigga had the Secret Service and the plain clothes. Like, don't get it messed up, but Barry's still holding it. Don't be very careful. Like Vince Staples said.
Took that thing too. Now you know.
Hey, the nigga in the green shirt was definitely the shooter. That nigga ain't crack a smile that whole game. But yeah, man, I felt like once the USA got their legs under them, they really started playing well, man. Anthony Edwards, bro, that nigga right there. Everybody laughed at Ant when he said, "I'm the first option," and it was like, well, you know, when he said when Bron and those guys first came off the bench in their first couple years because of Kobe, he was like, "Ain't no Kobe on this team."
Right.
I love Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards was a big. He really Anthony Davis, and Bam. Those were the three guys that got the USA back in that team. I think the big moment that all of us were waiting for, the Steph Curry to LeBron James alley-oop, which was cool to see. Bron tried to return the favor with the three, but he threw that joint out of bounds. He said he's going to work on it. It was a moment of unity between us Curry stands and the LeBron stands. It was like the Blood and Crips at the pop out and holding the flag. You know what I'm saying?
The Arnold Schwarzenegger Carl Weathers shake.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it was. And I think this, Tatum played a little more free. Tatum got that I just won a championship glow. But I think that it's going to be a competitive playoff. I mean, 6 weeks of international hoop. But I think French is going to be ready. I think Canada is going to come back and be ready. But when this team gets better, I would personally start AD and Bam. They're going to start Embiid because they went through the whole recruiting process of trying to get Embiid. So they're not going to sit him on the bench after doing all that recruiting. But I liked what I saw from them, man. What did you think about what you saw from the 2K24 version of the Dream Team?
America, fuck yeah. America, we're here to say the fucking day, yeah. That's how I feel. Look, man, let me say this. First, let me say this. I'm happy that the world is catching up because I want to be able to watch the Olympics and see some competition. I don't want to see USA 150, Angola 25. I don't want to see that. I want to see hoopers hoop. And on the biggest stage, the world stage, I want to hear debate if America still got it. I want to hear Canada be like, oh, nah, fam, old Canada, our home and native land, nigga. Fuck you talking about. I want to hear like some random ass country like, yo, we got 2 NBA players, yo, we out here. Like I want to hear South Sudan be like, hey, we out here. I want to hear all of that. I want to hear some of these other European countries be like, nah, it ain't over with. I want to see USA and France.
Giannis got grease up in that thing.
Yeah, I want to see Giannis like try to take on all of America like he be doing with the Milwaukee Bucks. I like this. Do I think America's gonna win? Yes. Do I think it's going to be going away? No. Do I think they can lose a game in this joint? Not in that bracket, not in that, that group that they're in. I think that the Olympics gave them a break by however they doing the draw, giving them that draw right there. Which definitely to me leads them into the gold medal game, the medal games. So, but I want to see them go up against those teams. But the thing about it is, while that might be easy for them, while that group might be easy for them, it might make it easier for them to take one of the other teams lightly and get caught.
Yeah.
So
I
like this.
Yeah. And Brian Windhorst sounded like he was really like, yo, hey, don't sleep on these niggas. Like, hey, this is gonna be the tough. Like he was on NBA Today. Like, hey, y'all need to pump the brakes. Like I know we showing these alley-oop highlights, and Bam and AD sending niggas shit into the fourth row. But hey, be very careful. He was really about French. Like, hey, he said, good luck scoring on Wemby and Gobert.
Bruh, see that? When you got them two on the same team?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Nah. They gonna really have to be on their A game going against it. And that's the team that I'm afraid that they'll mess around to get early and get their ass knocked out in the knockout stage. That's what I'm nervous about. Their group, easy. I'm worried about France in the knockout stage, depending on what happens.
Jokic was going crazy today. Don't get it like confused. And also, got to remember, Brown is old, nigga. Like these niggas, Brown is the elder statesman. I saw one tweet. Somebody said it's gonna be the first Steph Curry barrage is gonna make a country go to war with us. That nigga was already posing. This nigga sliding, doing the pose, man. Like that's gonna be crazy. But talking about the team, who got left over. Of course, we all know about the controversial Kyrie Irving not making the team. Now, Finals MVP Jaylen Brown. I just want to say, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are having one hell of a summer. This nigga Jason Tatum won a championship by being a nigga who didn't do nothing on the group project and still got an A. He got $330 million. He got LMA pregnant. And now this nigga Jaylen Brown, he got paid last year. Finals MVP. He got Shorty from who's on the sky, Kyrie Gondrzic. I don't mess her last name. Like my nigga, he out here winning. But he was upset about not making a team. Kawhi Leonard, who stepped down, and we just talking about we don't know what the Clippers are doing. That nigga Kawhi hurt already. They sent that nigga home. KD hurt as well. Only reason I'm a little concerned about KD because calf, and we know what happened last time with KD and the calf. So I'm a little concerned about that. But I thought that Jaylen Brown would be an easy replacement for him. No, they got his teammate Derek White, who also got paid this offseason. And Jaylen went on a little tweet barrage on Twitter and was blaming Nike and things like that. And he also tweeting like, I saw somebody said he was tweeting like Raza Ghul, I'm not scared of the things you bring, whatever the hell that nigga tweeted. And so, my thing is this. I get why he's upset. I don't know what that means. Help. I don't know what that means at all. But I get why he's upset with Nike. We do know why Nike's not putting him or Kyrie on there. I think it's very, very clear why neither one of them on that team. But my issue here is why Stephen A might be right about people not liking him because he's cocky. He might be not the best teammate. Your teammate just got added to the team. Even if you feel that way, you don't have to tweet. Let your teammate have his moment. Or at least say something like, oh, I'm very happy for Derek, very proud of Derek. If anybody deserves it, it's him. But we know what's going on with Nike and not me getting selected. That, to me, is what I had a problem with. This has nothing to do with, I feel like you're trying to take away your teammates' moment. In my personal opinion, it kind of looked like an asshole. And then Stephen A took, a victory lap, was like, hey, so you want me to reveal my sources now? Because that's something he called him out on. And he even wore the reveal the sources t-shirt at the parade. So what do you think? Do you think Stephen A is right about this? And what do you think about this whole situation?
I thought he was right when he said it. Jaylen Brown, if we want to call Jaylen Brown a superstar, let's call him a superstar. Jaylen Brown is the only superstar that I've ever seen in the NBA not get shit. Like when you...
Like the superstar benefits?
Yeah, he's not getting none of the superstar benefits. And like I said, not his choice. Like Stephen A. Smith was talking about the shoes. Like, remember, Akeem Olajuwon did have a shoe contract, and then he was like, nah, I'm going to go over here with Spalding and get some affordable shoes. Like, Karl Malone was with LA Gear. They came up with the time, like, it didn't matter what the shoe was, you had a shoe deal. He's with Nike, but Nike got him wearing everybody else's shoes. And he's the fucking MVP, and he has the biggest contract in the NBA, at least at that time. What do we see? When do we see Jaylen Brown talk? Like, what commercials do we see him in?
There's no Jaylen Brown commercials.
Like, Jaylen Brown is the opposite of Kyrie in some aspects. He's healthy. That's probably another team. That's it. We don't look. Even with Jason Tatum, like we want to hear Jason Tatum talk. Now,
Yeah.
what he might say, we might be like, get your lame ass up out of here. But we want to hear him talk. What
Yeah.
do we want to hear from Jaylen Brown? In fact,
Nothing.
here's something that I thought about during the championship joint. Damn, I banned that. That's scary now. During the parade. That's scary. I ain't gonna front. It's like motherfucker said help. I
Yeah,
don't know what that
nigga
is.
say help again. Who is this nigga?
After I banned the comment, and they was like, "Yo, we're back." That's just got me a little nervous and shit. It's like, man, we gonna fuck around and be in a scary movie and shit. Motherfuckers gonna be in front of our house and shit. Just do 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 do. But real quick, let me be real. At the parade, we saw Kai at the joint. And I was like, oh, okay. Is she with him? And then she had the trophy in her hand. She's more popular
Then he is.
than he is.
She did a
She's
panel
more
with Serena
popular.
Williams doing Essence Fest.
Yes, she's more popular than he is. When they was on the red carpet, we was looking at what she had on and what she didn't have on. And she's more notable about her fashion and the unfortunate thing that happened.
She's a bad bitch, and I say that in the most respectful.
Yeah,
word.
she's bad, but also the unfortunate situation that allegedly happened between her and her ex-boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
That's what she's more known about than playing in the WNBA and being the girlfriend, or at least talking to Jaylen Brown. So you goddamn right. Stephen A. Smith is 100% right, and whoever was the source is 100% right. Because if that was the case, fuck Nike. He would be on the team. He would be on the team. And he would have been on the team before the dude wearing New Balances.
He said, dude in the comments. He said, dude in the comments gonna be in front of my place with a knife yelling respect black quarterbacks.
He probably is. So
Yeah.
so Stephen A. and the source, not Stephen A. Because if you read what Stephen A. Smith was basically saying, he think it's a travesty that this shit is going on. But his source said, nah, buddy ass is weird. We don't really fuck with him.
And I'll say this.
Like that.
I'll say this, then we're gonna bring Lero in just 1 second. I watched Jason Tatum's interview with Melo and Mero on the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn podcast. And Mero asked him, you know, everybody's talking about your relationship with Jaylen Brown, and he gave off a real Scottie Pippen type answer. Not like local, not like lately Scottie Pippen, but I don't know if you ever remember that ESPN news special that was done like 2003 called The Demise of the Bulls. And it was David Aldridge interviewing Ron Harper, Tony Kukoc, and Scottie Pippen. And Scottie Pippen was really real short about him, about Michael Jordan. And he asked him, we think that's going to be the long legacy of this team. Scottie said, all they're going to remember is Mike winning championships. They're not going to bring us up. This was like during the 98 playoffs. And this was aired in that documentary. If you haven't found it, it should be somewhere on YouTube. But the answers he gave Melo and Mero was like, yeah, we cool, but that ain't my nigga or nothing. Like, we work well on the court, but that ain't really my guy. And Stephen A., we can say whatever we want to say about Stephen A. Stephen A's sources rarely be wrong. So for him to take a victory lap right away for that, I think there's some merit to that. Because if I was Derek White, I'm feeling away. Next time I see you, my nigga, we got to have a conversation. Because now it kind of feels like you taking a shit on my day. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how I kind of felt about that, man. So we going to move on. We're going to bring in our guy for our weekly segment here, man. Respect the culture with the one and only Larry Legend himself. Lero, what is going down, my boy? You are on mute, dog.
There we go.
There we go.
Oh, nothing.
How's it going?
You know, running business, trying to get things together. Can't complain. Every day is busy, so you know how it go.
I 100% know how that goes. I'm trying to enjoy it. Tomorrow will be my last day of somewhat peace until maybe mid-January, because hopefully the Bears play a couple playoff games. So that'd be nice. They play a couple playoff games, and my schedule going to that, man. But
I went to Sam's and saw some Bears stuff up. It got me a little excited for the season. And we did do stuff. So much shit that went on since the Bears got their moves off. So I can't wait for the season now. I'm thirsty.
Friday, all eyes will be on Caleb Williams, man. But we are here for another edition respect the culture, and we're gonna get into our first topic, man. I saw a little Twitter, debate or conversation happen this last couple days about Chicago nightlife culture, but more specifically the club culture out here, and a lot of people will still complain about it. I'll say this for me before I go to Lero. I kind of feel with the club culture in Chicago, I don't really feel like outside of a couple years, we had a couple clubs. You had the Bevies, you had the Lumens, things like that. I don't ever feel like Chicago's ever been that much of a club city. But a lot of people are comparing it to their experiences in other cities as well. What do you think about the club culture in Chicago and how it could potentially change?
For me personally, I've seen the same conversations. I wanted to bring this on here because of the fact that we've known it to be real strict on the rules that you can have when we did have a culture. I can't speak for before 07, but we was in a club when we wasn't supposed to be in the club at a certain time. And exactly. Then it went from, I would say, from at least that era till 13, 15, I feel like it was all the way over with by then. And I've always felt like people give us a bad rep on the club side because of the fact that we're not a club city. But our shit suck. They treat us like it's celebrities in there every night. And then, like, I just made a post today on a couple platforms. I don't want to go to a party if I see 15 pair of Amiri jeans there. I'm going to leave. Chicago love drill. We love, man, put the guns down, Chicago. Next up, little murder, kill everybody. Like, we love doing that. We love playing devil's advocate. We like to act like we ain't a part of the problem, and then we do problematic shit. That's a Chicago thing. So it's like a part of the club's dying, we know, is a part of people getting shot, having violence going on, so forth and so on. The homie Sigma Chris, who throws a lot of the best parties in the city to me, he was just speaking on it too. I think one of the old brunch spots, Fremont, then turned into like a country club or something, like a country music bar or something like that. This used to be a spot you done seen booties getting shaken and all kinds of stuff. Now it's a country music bar. Last night they had Jimmy Butler in that bitch, boy. Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, him and Roquan Smith. Roquan Smith, I see got
both of them niggas still out in the city.
They
going in on that. Yeah, they going in on that joint. So yeah, it's both of them.
And they buying it.
Right.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
But we get into the whole, we've talked about the problem with the clubs in Chicago. Now, my question to you guys is, what do y'all think we can do to fix it? I see a thing in LA. When I go out to LA, you can wear what you want pretty much. Yes. They don't bother you about that. In Miami, it's a little different because it costs so fucking much. But still with the clothing thing, it's kind of the same thing. We got a real strict thing with these clothes, man. They want us to dress like the Monopoly man to have a party. Like
the clothes thing has always been crazy to me because, like, nigga, if I want to shoot a spot up, I'm gonna be like Brother Mazoon on the wire, nigga. I can be in a bow tie and still shoot the joint up. I think the thing to me with being in LA, I've been in the nice guy nigga with sweatpants on, so it's like it's really about who you know more than anything in LA. I think that's the difference. Like, one thing that have me dying when I see people, whether it's from Chicago or anybody else, they'll go to LA and I'm in LA week. I'm like, yeah, you saying that because you don't know nobody. Like, LA ain't a city you can just go into and no, nigga, you better know some niggas there or have some type of, I mean, one time, Lero, you came out to LA, I hit you, man. We got a party. We went somewhere else.
Get off the plane. But that's how it always is in LA. It's usually like who knows who party type of shit more than the club, but the club is also an option.
Yeah.
But it's just a little But just like I was saying, like I've been to the club with BJ. He been on the here. I've been to the club with him, and his name was on the flyer, and they gave us problems because we smell like weed or something. It's like, yo,
he's on the flyer.
Yeah, and we left. He was like, look, we can leave. I got my money, and they let us in, of course. But it's just like the extraness that we got to go through in Chicago, and this is a nigga whose name and face was on the flyer.
Yeah.
So it's like.
Honestly, man, I don't think there's nowhere going around it. It ain't gonna change. I don't even like going to clubs no more for that very reason. And mind you, I always wear shit that I could get into a club in. I'm gonna rock a polo. I'm gonna rock some straight leg jeans. I ain't gonna be up in there with the tight joints on. They gonna be enough where my nuts can breathe. Like I'm not about to be up in here, dressed like Jay-Z in 1997. Like not about to do that no more.
You
I
not
ain't
gonna
on
be
that
dressed
shit.
up like you in the Sunshine video?
Yeah, nah, I'm not doing that shit. But also, it to me, it's not just about comfort. It's just about having fun. All right. And at this point, I could have just as much fun, if not more, at a bar, kicking it with folks in the club night, when the club atmosphere, where you got the bouncer that's about to try to act like he the star of the show. No diss to any promoter,
Oh,
because I
oh,
know some great promoters too.
nigga,
Like,
bouncers
but
and promoters be thinking well, I can't say that person anymore, but a certain person who's under fire right now. from Harlem, from Money Earning Mount Vernon. They think they that nigga.
yeah, like folks be wanting to be the star of the show when the whole thing is for the atmosphere, is for niggas to have fun.
Yeah.
Bring people out, have fun. I ain't got to be the star of the show. I just want to kick it with the homies. Back when I was single, have women around me. The homies, we popping bottles is good. That shit's not, even if I was
Here's the
single, that
issue.
shit wouldn't have been attractive.
Bang, you hit the nail on the head. Here's an issue that I don't think enough people talk about. They just had Everyday People in Chicago a couple weeks ago, and their tickets are $30. You go to some of these regular parties in Chicago, they're like $100 and shit like that. So if you got a brand, a nationwide brand like Everyday People, they're like in fucking LA once a month, they're in New York all the time, and you can pay for $30 for an experience like that. Why am I go to $100 where DJ's playing songs from like years ago? Like that's why I feel like has not do. Like there's some great promoters in the city. Like I said, shout out to Sigma Chris. He throws a lot of great events. I think he's I think he's the anomaly. Like he's one of the few.
He is the anomaly.
He is the anomaly. Like he has
like
a
you know what? You know why Laro didn't know I've been moved back to Chicago? Because I don't go nowhere. What the fuck is the point nowadays? Like, cause you gonna go somewhere and then niggas is gonna give you the third degree and you like, yo, I'm about to spend some money. What the fuck is you talking about?
Before you even get in, you gotta deal with the damn bouncer who gonna question you like, yo, we ain't letting nobody with a left earlobe in tonight. Like that.
No earlobe's not big dog.
They want you to pay an arm and a leg to get in here to see these same girls we saw in 2012. Then after that, like you got to worry about a pair of Amiris jumping off somebody's body and shooting you. It's just way too much because they gonna let their guys in with their shit if they feel like it. It's just way too much, and it ain't just fun. It ain't even 5 places you could go here. 5.
I think Orlando says Chicago's restaurant bar city. Yeah, I feel like too, and like even with other cities, like New York is the city where you can get into anything. Like there's just feel like there's no limits to what you can do in New York. Like from the times I've been there, like I said, LA, if you got plugged, you can do that. Chicago I feel like Chicago thrives off the fact that we're not a city that has like a lot of celebrities, but the problem is these people who are in these positions think they're the celebrities, and I think that's something that
I lived in DC,
generation to generation.
I lived in DC for 5 years. Brunch in DC is unlike any other spot that I've been to.
I've heard.
Brunch in DC is amazing.
By the way, you gotta let me know where these brunch spots is at because my birthday weekend is the Bears play the Commanders. So I'll be in DC for my birthday weekend. So I told
you if you go to Park, man, let me know. I'll hit up quick. And
I will do that.
Park.
I've heard. Yeah, man, Park. The niggas closed early last time we was out there.
Oh yeah. And I had a great time in Park. All right, so that's all I'm. Nigga had a great time in Park. Nick came back to work. Nick came back to work that Monday and was like, "Yo, JR is different at work. Like we know. Like man, shut your ass up, fam. Don't be telling nobody my shit." But no, I spent time out there. Anytime I went out there, I was never bothered. I was never hassled. I was just there to kick it. Atlanta, most of the time I'm in Atlanta for work, but I ain't never had no issues in there. I've never had to worry about stuff. Matter of fact, shouts out to Rocksteady in that up in Atlanta. Shouts out to my man Jacob. who did all those joints at the Shrine and everything, and now they went to Atlanta. They created Rocksteady. I go out there and shit. My 40th birthday was spent over there. My whole goddamn team was like, "Yo, shit, this is what y'all be on." Like, yeah. And then
That's a
next
name
thing you
right there,
know,
Green Dolphin.
and then 2-3 months later, when we been. No, they can't bring that back. 3 months later, we went back and all of the team comes there. You can't bring back Green Dolphin. You can't bring back none of them shits, nigga. Like, nigga, I had the time of my life at fucking Cherry Red, my nigga. Like,
no hats. They didn't ever let you wear hats unless you was really super like they liked you a lot.
yeah.
Lumen.
Woo, shout out to Nitro. Shout out to Nitro.
Nigga.
Parties.
Shout out to Nitro, man. Lumen. Nigga, I was in Lumen. The Adriana's I never been to Adriana, but I've heard stories about Adriana. Nigga, I was in Lumen during D-Rose, Taj Gibson era. Like that. That was the time. So I was in the Shrine next to Julius Peppers when Derrick Rose tore his meniscus in 2013, nigga.
He was up in that with the crutches? When he was in there with the crutches?
No, I'm talking about. No, I was next to Julius Peppers when the news broke that Derrick.
When the news broke, I was in Mississippi.
Yeah,
I was in Mississippi, mad than a motherfucker.
Nigga, I walked out there like my dog got shot. But let's go to my festivals and things like that, man. I think that's something that's really been taking over the entire. I think outside game and things like that. Leroy, you got your own festival, you and your brother, called Kemer Fest. Y'all done a couple already. You're doing one on July 27th. Let the people know what it is and what was you guys like motivation for bringing this to the city, and like what the the reaction has been so far.
We've been getting a good reaction from a lot of the people in the city that already do shit, pretty much, like people who didn't know we was doing this. A lot of people. Let me just get back to the top. So Kemer Fest is my brother's festival that he put together 2020. He played in a band. They didn't have really that many gigs. They wanted everybody to meet outside during 2020 and all this and that. So he came up with the idea, let's have like a little festival, a little mini festival. We brought a group of artists that we knew together. And it started from there. It was basically a way to showcase some local talent in a festival-like environment, pretty much. We moved on from that. We did the second year. We had Kenzie headline. Third year, I think we had Kenzie headline, but we also had
Kenyon Dixon. That was
third year. We had Kenyon Dixon, Kenzie. Yep. Second year we had Kenzie, Rocky Fresh. This year we got BJ the Chicago Kid and the Cool Kids and Adam Ness. We got blessed with that for real though, but our idea was basically surrounded about showcasing local talent and Chicagoland based artists, so anybody in the area, and we just pretty much bring a few in. We get like a voting of like 3. We do like a competition to get 3 other people on the bill. We fill out whoever we want inside, and then we just reached out to who we could, and I just been helping them like a lot. I helped them a lot in the last few years, but like the last 2 years, I really been helping them a lot more with trying to get bigger artists and just trying to do the festival the right way, which is not easy, especially without a budget, because we don't have a major player behind us giving us no money. We've been able to pull all this off out the mud, which is
neither do we. I'm still looking, so if y'all want to support the guys,
I want y'all to understand, like, people look at us, and I know me and the way we grew up and the things that we've been able to do and the people we know, and they think we got money, and they think we, been able to do this with some secret help or some shit like that. But it's really just relationships.
Grace of God.
Who man. I want people to understand that anybody watching this for real, like whoever, like your connection is everything. So, like, don't let nobody tell you need a whole bunch of money to do something that you want to do. And that's just what we've been doing. I feel like Chicago been lacking. We got a lot of festivals that come through Chicago. It's not a lot of black ones. It's none that supports local artists. So that's a big thing. But even with like, it's hard to do what we're doing and looking up and you see people fail because it's hard when you're going so big so fast, which I want to, reel back what we've been doing just to make sure we got a great audience that's gonna follow us and do whatever we do, because we do karaoke too.
Yeah.
But like we've had, what was the biggest the one we had, the Hyde Park Festival? It should have never went to music. It should have stayed a festival, but like a street festival. But man, like that failed. That did, I don't want to say it failed, but that ended because they did successful. They had success to me, but they ended. Same thing with Silver Room. Ended that as well. Both of those things went from 100 people to 50,000, 20,000 people at the time at certain points that they run. And I just wanted to continue getting something off like that for our culture. You know, we bring in the culture with y'all. So like that's my main thing about doing that. And then just watching everybody else, I've been hoping that we could get some more stuff going in the city, because the city needs something. Like we just had a whole segment about clubs. We don't have a lot of kicking shit, and then we got people coming in being able to have great experiences here. That money ain't being spread through the city like that, and it's not showcasing anybody. The last shit that just happened, Everyday People did have All Summer as a part of it, doing some DJing.
Shout out All Summer, man.
Yeah, those the bros. But like, we need more people coming in our city asking us to help. You know what I'm saying? So at least if we start doing our own shit, you never know what can happen from that. So I mean, that's just basically what it is.
You know what I liked just from afar, because when y'all started this, I was in DC. I like the fact that a lot of it was just R&B music. I like the fact that Kenyon Dixon was like, you know, a headliner, and then you got BJ this year. Like when we see a lot of these festivals, I mean, even though I love the cool kids, when we see these festivals, we automatically think it's got to be rapper here, rapper there, rapper here. If anybody know me, I'm probably more of an R&B lover than I am a rap lover. So to hear that, especially live instrumentation, like having the band and all of that stuff behind it and stuff, like that's what I saw when y'all put this together. That's what made it dope for me, and that's what also made it unique outside of the way that it was created. You know, it does not feel forced. It felt very organic, and it is organic, and with good quality music behind it as well. Because the last thing you want is to get into these joints and you just got folks yelling over mics and shit and all of that. Nah, you having a good time. So nah, this is dope.
And
no,
I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I love what y'all doing, because it's like we do need more stuff in Chicago, more as possible, especially for the younger kids too, because like, you know, people in their 20s, a lot of kids in like their early 20s, remember they missed the curve on a lot of stuff because of COVID. You know what I'm saying? They weren't able to fully enjoy their college years, and, you know, some of the end of the high school years. So they need stuff around that can help. And I think this would be a good way for y'all to do it, and way y'all been doing it so far, and having the artists y'all been having, man. Big shout out to friend of the program, Chuck English. And you know, just how you guys have been doing it has been great. What you saying before I cut you off?
I was gonna say a couple things. First thing is that, you know, most gangsters like R&B, Bang. So I already know you love some R&B. But that was another thing that I felt about what we doing is like it's almost like a baby, more urban. I don't want to say urban, but younger version of a Essence Fest. Like we got the vibe of that with the younger audience a little bit. I feel like our shit is pretty much 30 and up. It'll be a couple younger than 30s in there, but for them, and, you know, maybe 4 or 5 pair of Amiris, but it's still a nice little vibe. It ain't been one fight. It hasn't been. I ain't seen nobody throw up, even though we be getting good liquor. We got John Basul held as a part of the VIP. We got Jerk 48. We got Harold's food truck coming in. And they ran by Harold's grandchildren, so this is the real recipe. We got you know, so much other stuff that we try to offer, and it's just trying to grow the product. But I like you said, another thing, like you said, our band is our people play for everybody, from Mary J to the guy who was in trouble or is in trouble, to the guy who was in jail, to guys, or to people even like Janet Jackson, people like ooh, man. I mean, anybody you could think of. I think we're gonna have somebody in there who played for Camila Cabello, who, you know, that girl. Anybody, like, they play for everybody. So like the music is always A1 there too. But like that's my vibe, as I'm trying to go for like a Essence Festival type of vibe for younger people. Because you go to Essence Fest, it kind of be super busting,
I gotta
and
go
not
out
a
there.
lot of extra shit. So
What let them know like what the address is at. What we know how they can get into them.
we gonna be in Dalton actually. Shout out to the mayor of Dalton. We love you. You've been doing well by us, so we can't, look, we rocking with you, shorty. We gonna be in Dalton. It's on like 138 Lincoln Road, something like that. But you can get your tickets, man. Just follow Keemerfest, KheemerFest on Instagram. And the ticket information is on Eventbrite right now. We working on our website, which we just got the domain for. So everything is coming together, and we just trying to, all hands on deck. That's all I can say. All of the guys that's been involved, like you said, all of the artists we've been able to pull in have been people we already rock with, so it's been easy for us to been able to transition over for this. But yeah, I appreciate y'all for letting me just rock out on that real quick.
Man, go ahead.
I know y'all the guys, we do this. But it's just always good to get some extra promotion on this shit because we need all of it we can get for sure.
Hey man, any way we can help possible, man. We definitely down with it, man. Last topic before we get you up out of here, man. We got Courtney in the bullpen. She's gonna come out in a minute. Man, so there was video went viral the other day of Mr. Jonathan Majors, formerly employed as Kang. By the way, whoever made the moonshine version of Not Like Us, nigga.
So now that's a shot. So wait a minute, let me give my shout out. Shouts out to my homie Alton Walker. Okay. Alton Walker is a comedian. He's also on the morning. He's also on the Morning Hustle, our syndicated show, Reach platform. Shouts out to him. He's the one that's singing that song. He got shirts available and all of that stuff too.
You never seen that.
Rapper turned whippersnapper. So shouts out to Alton Walker. God ain't pleased. And God ain't pleased. Shouts out to him for making that song.
That nigga said, I got gout in my pinky toe. That had me dying all day, man. But a video went viral. Megan Good is on a promo right now. She got some Tyler Perry movie with her, Corey Hardwick, and on Amazon Prime right now. I don't know the name. They're not paying me, so fuck the name. But our guy, a friend of the program, Nick Hamilton of Nightcast Media, he filmed the video that went viral of the situation. Now, I just want to put out that the longer video, Michael Ealy does dap up Jonathan Majors. Mm-hmm. But we're not here for that. We here for jokes. We here for what happened.
Oh, I ain't got no jokes. What I'm gonna say is not gonna be a joke. Y'all, yeah.
Well, listen,
Lara, how would you handle that situation if you were Jonathan Majors?
I'm gonna say this. When I first saw the video, I could tell by his way he was moving that they had already spoke. So when I saw the full video, I already knew that that's pretty much what had happened. But my problem with it is no nigga, no man, is no woman who like women is gonna come up and pick my woman up in front of me and spin her and hug her. You got to be gay, 100% gay man. That's the only one who could do this. Her brother, her dad. Can't nobody who would pick my girl up. That's just unacceptable fucking behavior. We would have snatched his eyes out. He would have been dark colored by the end of that fucking day. I'm telling you, I don't fuck around like that. You don't touch my woman. It be niggas talking to my girl who I've met more than once and they still don't acknowledge me. That I smack the shit out you niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't play like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
niggas, you know what they doing when they do that too.
They go way too far. It was just like a Drewski skit. It's like, yeah, I know your girl, nigga. Like, no.
You got a good one. You got a good one, brother.
Shit. You thought it was fake. This is Alabama production. You don't know what the fuck going on here.
Michael Ealy was still playing the character from Power. That nigga did not care.
He didn't care.
Go ahead, Bang. I can see the disgust on your face.
Yeah.
I'm with you, Bang. You married, ain't you?
Yeah. And I figured not only did they dap up or whatever, there's a photo of Nate, what's my man name? The one who was supposed to be a big actor, but then
Nate Parker,
all his old shit. Yeah, Nate Parker.
Yeah.
It was a picture of Nate Parker, and them niggas was in the picture together. It was like, black men united in that motherfucker. They know each other, but they know the same girl. And it would not shock me and surprise me if Michael Ealy hit. It wouldn't shock and surprise me.
No, it wouldn't shock me at all.
But because they know each other. They acted in the same movie together. They went on the promo run together. So with that being said, I get all of that friendship shit. But what I think is two things here. I think Michael Ealy did too much. Like, fam, they together now. There ain't no picking up and twirling and all of that shit. And Megan Good supposed to told dude, like, nah, hold on, my man right there. So it's two things right there. She should have checked him, been like, nah, put me down. Whispered in the ear, put me down, fam, put me down. My man right there. Oh, yeah, my bad. I thought we was cool.
Right, he going through a lot right now.
Like
All
the day
this shit.
before this, he was dancing and everybody was making fun of him. Like the man can't catch a
He
break.
can't be on the internet right now.
No.
And then let's add all of this shit together. All right. And this is why I'm like, nah, this some bullshit. And I ain't saying that Jonathan Majors is a saint. This ain't nothing about that. This is just male to male respect and a boyfriend girlfriend relationship respect. Michael Ealy twirls her in her man's face, and he's clearly uncomfortable. He's already under scrutiny. And what does she also do? Do an interview with Shannon Sharp, and she tells Shannon Sharp that her friends was like, nah, don't fuck with Buddy. She didn't have to say that shit. She didn't have to say that shit.
You said a lot of stuff on that Shay Shay interview.
Man,
Yeah, I don't know what the
She said she's still friends with her ex-husband. Like, hey, man, it was a lot of violation.
Are you talking about
Yeah, the pastor. The pastor.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what the fuck going on with celebrities and shit. Yeah.
Hey,
that's how they get you.
I don't know what the fuck going on, man. But no, that's disrespect
100%.
on both sides.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, she forgot that she getting paid to be his woman in the first place. That's what happened.
Oh, you probably know.
She said, "Oh shit, I forgot I was getting paid. You can't pick me up like this." But it's too late now. You know what I'm saying?
Too late now.
He had to stand there and look. Is he in the movie?
Nah.
I gotta say,
no,
it's gold if he could get that nigga.
No, Michael Ealy getting them power checks. He ain't doing Tyler Perry movies right now. It's Tia's ex or current
I'm
husband.
saying is Jonathan Majors in the
but he did just sign on.
Yeah.
He did just sign on. Yeah.
Like, this stealth Jonathan Majors comeback that a lot of people ain't trying to pay attention to, and Kevin Spacey low-key trying to do the same thing.
Yes,
it's very stealth right now. But I will just say this: there would have been a long talk when we got home. There'd have been a long.
When we get home, nigga, in the limo.
In the
fuck
car.
is you talking about?
In the car.
In the car, nigga. Knowing the reputation.
But even in the car, because of Jonathan Major's reputation, that might need to wait till you get home.
Yeah, you're right.
Cameras is
No, what I'm saying is it would have been simple. Like, some shit just simple. Like, it wouldn't have even been a long. Matter of fact, it wouldn't have been a long talking to. Some shit just simple. I'm over in the corner quiet. She like, babe, what's wrong? Like, come on, man. You got my man over here twirling you. That's my friend, but I ain't your man. Now, what if one of my old joints came over and you knew her because I've probably nailed one of your friends, and then I gave her ass the twirl.
What you gonna do? Jessica Alba come over here and you know what I'm saying, do the same thing. What's gonna be the issue here? Because you know you would have
had an issue.
You know
so what's good for me is good for you. So when one of my things
come,
come, we swirling.
He get in that car, he probably make a face like, you see my face, right?
This is not how Coretta acts.
You see me in the car, right?
Coretta wouldn't do this.
You was my Coretta, didn't I? Didn't I? Bitch, don't make me waste another Coretta. Don't make me.
I already messed up my Disney contract.
Actually, you know, the thing that's crazy is, like you just brought up, this is before you, I know we're going to wrap it up, but man, you just said it's Kevin Spacey, which I watched that documentary. It was horrible stuff to watch. He's making his comeback, but it's very interesting to me because, like, Jonathan Majors calling a white woman his Coretta is still working.
It's nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts. And I'm just gonna say this about the Kevin Spacey doc. It seemed like that's what them niggas was into. There's anything wrong with that.
Because the one dude was like, so the first time I went over there, he touched my balls.
I was like, okay, let's go
back over.
And I things here.
I said, there's no way he's gonna touch my dick twice. And he did. Like, yeah, nigga. What you think?
Sounded like he was down with that.
You one of his hoes now, man. Like,
yeah. What I took from that doc is just Kevin Spacey a freaky mug who don't really know, that's what I got from that. But Jonathan Majors is wild in so many different ways. And one thing I took this more than anything. Michael Ealy is really the bold nigga he be playing in his movies.
Yeah.
That's 100%. You can't trust a light skinned nigga with green eyes.
My wife said I ain't letting no nigga twirl me like that in front of you or not in front of you.
Right.
That says everything. Fuck. I don't give a fuck if you high five, dap that nigga, gave him the bro hug, told that nigga like, yo, man, I see you. Yeah, I see you too. Nigga, don't pick my girl up.
Yeah,
and twirl ass.
Play with my bitch or something. Kick feet.
Yeah, give it this long ass Lionel Richie ass hug and shit.
No, do what J. Cole did when he was around D-Wade and Gabby. Dap her up. He knew not to play with D-Wade like that.
He knew he liked her when he was a kid, just like D-Wade did. That nigga said,
hey, how you?
Blessings, peace. I don't want no smoke with this nigga.
He did the same thing with
my ass.
Cole did the same thing with Shorty who played Topanga from Boy Meets World. He mentioned her on the rap. And he missed her. She
was on
right. But she was with a nigga and he was just like, how you doing? How you doing? Right. There's a respect level here that Michael Ealy clearly does not have because he's too busy chasing Tariq.
Before we get out of here, man, shout out to that boy J. Cole. He got a real good sense of awareness.
Hey, Schoolboy Q, friend of the year. Schoolboy Q, friend of the year.
Schoolboy Q also man of the year, like he told us a long time ago. And hey man, J. Cole, I won't dish you no more. You got respect for women's wives, not like your boy. You know when to back out of a beef that ain't got nothing to do with you, not like some people that I've been writing about. So, shout out to J. Cole, man. Shout out to J. Cole, man.
Shout out to J. Cole, man. One more time, man. Let them know everything with Kima Fest, and we gonna get you out of there.
We're going to be doing Kima Fest July 27th. It's a festival. It's going to be about 9 to 10 acts out there. BJ the Chicago Kid, Cool Kids, Adam Ness, and many more. Harold's Chicken, Jerk 48. Get your tickets at Eventbrite. Just search in Kima Fest, KHEEMERFEST. Kima Fest. We outside. And it's Larry Legend. You can find me everywhere. Larry is Legend. On Instagram, Larry is Legend 1. And I'll holler at y'all next time, man. I appreciate y'all for letting me do this.
You already know, bro. We'll be right back in a minute. We're going to bring Courtney Caliber on for our second hour. We'll be right back.
Triple double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not going to hold you. Money on the...
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and Courtney is back. Courtney, what is going on?
Oh, it's Friday. Ain't got no job. Ain't
got shit to do.
Just out here living life. How's the lighting, boss man? The Texas
lighting is much better. Shout out to the Texas sun.
Yeah, what can we do?
Obviously, you must be happy not being in Houston. I had a prayers update. I just hit my boy up out in Houston. He said, "Man, they power been out all week."
Yeah, I was actually there over the 4th of July weekend, so I got it on Thursday. Usually, it's a 3.5 hour drive back up to Dallas, no problem. Even on a Sunday, that was a 7-hour drive. We left at noon. I didn't get back in my house until like 7:20, so that was crazy. I've never seen Buc-ee's so busy, but I did get to catch episode 4. Of House of the Dragon, like just in time. So I was.
Oh, you did, huh?
Yeah, I did catch it. I did not miss it. So
I know you didn't miss it.
So sorry.
I know you didn't miss it.
In my defense, I really thought we were all locked in.
No, shout out to Courtney because she unsent the message. I'd have kept in there. I'd have told Bang, you know what time of the day it is. Ain't my fault.
No, I want to say it in front of you. I was cool. I was just joking with you. I don't give a damn about spoilers.
No. I would hate if someone did that to me.
I
don't
give a shit. I read Revelations before I read Genesis. Like my mama told me to read the Bible. I went straight to the end. I was like, damn, we all die at the end. Shit. Oh,
there's your number one friend Orlando in the comments.
Thank you.
I don't care about spoilers either. The only time I ever got mad about spoilers, my brother knows how obsessed I am with power. This nigga leaked Angela getting killed in the last.
I've never seen that show. Still to this day.
If you're it is drug dealing. You know how old people say I'm watching my stories. It's always drug dealing stories. The first 3 seasons are actually legitimately good TV. Then when Ghost got out of jail in 2 episodes, they didn't care about.
You just spoiled it for me.
I mean, okay, it's like it's like people. Oh, Tony Soprano got shot.
What?
Oh my goodness! Like, yeah, but like the first couple seasons are legitimately good TV. But after that, it goes off a cliff. But it is. I have a rule: if you're gonna be a bad show, be entertaining, and they've been entertaining.
100%, like Clipped.
Yes, 100%. But we're gonna get into it, man. We got like about 50 minutes, something like that. I know Bang got to get up out of here. You got to get up out of here.
I gotta be.
Like I said,
Friday. It's 95 degrees, etc.
Look at Bang. It's up.
All right,
Shout out Big Glow.
Go crazy.
Shout out to Glow. But yeah, y'all got to get up out of here. I need to get some peace before I start this madness on Sunday. So we doing a little hurry up offense today. But last week we began our division breakdowns. Last week we started with the NFC North. We're going to be doing a division a week up until the actual NFL season. So this week we're going to be focused on the most funny division in football, the NFC East. Some people call it the NFC least. So we're going to go through all 4 divisions. Now, if you missed last week, we're not giving record predictions. We're not giving picks, none of that. We're just going to talk about the storylines that stand out from each team and things that you're expecting from this team going into this actual season, man. So we're going to start off with the team that came back and won this division last year. That is the Dallas Cowboys. They went 12-5 and won the division. Who they lose from the playoffs last year? They lost to somebody in the playoffs. The Cowboys. Who the
Cowboys got smacked by the Packers.
That's what it was. They got shellacked by the Packers.
Absolutely.
That's what they got. They got absolutely frame broiled by them.
Didn't they let them put up like 40 points at least?
Yeah, I think Jordan Love went crazy. So we're going to talk about them. We'll start with them. For me, the biggest storylines with the Cowboys, obviously, Jerry Jones coming in saying, we're going to take it to another level. We're all in, which they did nothing to prove they're all in. They signed no free agents. You got the Dak contract situation hovering over him. He can be an actual unrestricted free agent at the end of this season. Which if I'm him, I'm playing with house money, because unless the Cowboys give me everything I want, I'm hitting that market. And we just saw contracts that guys like Kirk Cousins got, and you can say what you want to say about Dak Prescott. He's a better quarterback than Kirk Cousins. There's so many bad quarterbacks in today's NFL that if and when Dak Prescott hits the market, he is going to be the pick of the litter. He's going to get whatever he wants. So you got that coming in there. You got the fact that this window for the Cowboys that's been open since they started Dak Prescott, fresh off of Tony Romo in 2016, feels like it's coming to an end right now. The defense is still pretty good. They brought back Ezekiel Elliott. He wasn't doing nothing in New England last year. I'm not expecting nothing from him right now. But also another storyline is CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb still has not been paid. You've seen all these contracts that all these other wide receivers just got, Justin Jefferson, Amon-Ra Brown, and guys like that. He's looking for his bag. So you got all these type of things. You got the usual hot seat of the Cowboys. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure coming in for them, which there always is. There's America's team. But I feel like it's a little bit more this year because unlike past years, this could be a whole completely different roster next year. Courtney, what storylines stick out to you about the Cowboys heading into the season?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, that's kind of the storyline. Jerry Jones was saying that they were going to go all in, and this team looks exactly like it did last season, admittedly, if not a little bit worse. And when you look at their running back room, I mean, no offense to like 38-year-old Ezekiel Elliott. Actually, I think he's like 28, 29. But I digress.
He run like he's 38.
Same thing, right? I'm just curious as to how that backfield is going to – it's a very top-heavy team right now. And if they do end up paying Micah, trying to figure out how to pay all 3 of those guys, it's going to be a very top-heavy team, and I'm not sure how that's going to pan out for that team. So that's kind of like my major storyline. I really want to see what the running backs situation is going to look like there. And honestly, since I know Michael Gallup's not there anymore. Who does he play for now? The Raiders, right? Yeah. Since who's going to be their second wide receiver? I'm just curious to see what's going to happen there. I'm not sold on Tolbert. So we'll see. I'm curious to see what Dak does. What does Dak do this year? That's the question.
Bang, what you think about the storylines about America's team right now?
First of all, shouts out to Cam Newton by eloquently explaining why Dallas is no longer and has not been America's team for quite some time.
I disagree with that from a marketing perspective.
From a marketing perspective, I mean, look, it is what it is. However, the reason why I'm using that because if we don't have Dak on the team, and if we don't have, if we just have CeeDee Lamb and Micah, if you don't have a quarterback, nobody's gonna really talk about Dallas outside of them just getting their ass kicked. And that's how I think we're headed. I think this is Dak's last year with the Dallas Cowboys. And the Dallas Cowboys are going to fuck around and be in a situation where they had like Chad Hutchinson and Quincy Carter fighting for the quarterback spot.
Rebuild season. I think it's about to be rebuild season.
It better be.
At the very least, retool season. Like Alex said in the comments, they've got so many rookies now. Instead of trying to rely on a veteran presence to protect, they got a lot of rookies on that team now.
And trade up to get Sheduer.
And that's what I was going to say. You're gonna have to put yourself in a position to draft up to get a quarterback. And as much as Sheduer is highly touted, he's highly touted for this draft. Carson Beck is highly touted for this draft. If this was a draft like this past season, the Caleb Williams draft, they would probably be picked late in the first round. So it's not the most sexiest as far as talent, but it's sexy with name with Sheduer Sanders. So I feel like this is it. I feel like if they don't go nowhere, Dak is going to be gone. He's going to get $60+ million from the Raiders. He's going to be over there. CeeDee Lamb, you're going to have to entertain in trading him, and you're going to have to entertain trading Micah as well. You're going to have to blow that team up. And luckily, you do have two horses that can help happen, but this is it. It's now or never. Literally.
I'll say two things. I saw what Cam said. By the way, shout out to Cam. He did the BET Awards media room. He did the ESPYs last night. He doing this thing right now. But the Cowboys will always be America's team. Ain't got nothing to do with the record. It's all about their presentation.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah, like that. And but I just feel like, I like the Chiefs too, but I don't consider them. But before we go to the next team, Courtney, what's the pulse of in Dallas? Like, are Cowboy fans a little nervous, or are they the usual?
I mean, you know how it goes. Every year, it's they drink the Kool-Aid of the gods that's served to them. So they're always going to say that it's their year. It's weird to me because obviously that offense is going to flow through CeeDee Lamb, because who else is it going to flow through? Again, unless Ezekiel Elliott. Barring some like miraculous turnaround, it's going to flow from Dak to CeeDee. If he gets hurt, it's so over. It's so over. Like in my head, I could kind of see a scenario where like maybe Dallas tries to trade for a running back, assuming that the Ezekiel Elliott experience doesn't go over as they hope, but. I mean, the vibe here is the same as it's always been. They're delusional. They think it's their year every year. Yeah.
Well, those friends are smoking crack in Oak Cliff. That's what they smoking. Crack.
Cowboy fans and Cowboy fans.
Let me know who their dealer is. I might be interested.
Cowboy fans and Laker fans are on the same planet. Like, y'all hating on Lakers. Why am I hating on the play-in team, my nigga? Like, your biggest move was signing, Bronny James, aka the Nanas. I'm not gonna go in and look here.
Hey, you got a lame duck coach, fam. Like this is headed to.
Don't do that.
What?
JJ? Don't do this.
No, he's talking about Mike McCarthy.
I'm not talking about Mike McCarthy.
No, JJ's not a lame duck coach.
No. We're not gonna do this right now.
He just don't know what the hell he's doing. It's gonna be very funny. It's gonna be very funny on
JJ is not.
McCarthy keep his job.
No, JJ is not going to be a lame duck coach, but he will be the lead. He'll be the lead analyst on NBA on NBC.
He keeps saying that JJ is going to be, by the time the NBA's new media deal kicks in, that he's going to be. He gonna be, that's actually a good point, Orlando. I've been saying this all year that Khalil Herbert is not going to start the year with
That's
the Bears.
so funny. I was thinking about when I said that thought about them trading for a running back. I was thinking about Khalil Herbert
because
That's
that
so
nigga
funny.
Roshan Johnson is gonna split carries with DeAndre Swift. I've been saying it, and I believe when camp happens that's gonna be the thing. But let's move on to the next team. The team who finished second in the NFC East, and these niggas, Chad, pause. They started off 10-0, coming off their Super Bowl appearance the year before. Ended up finishing 11-6.
I thought it was 10-1,
It was
right?
10-1. My fault. 10-1.
10-1.
10-1. Only won one more game for the rest of the year after being 10-1. Went to the wild card round, got absolutely shellacked by Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This year they've added Saquon Barkley. You got new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator for them. To me, the thing I feel like a make or break year a little bit too for Philadelphia, because not that they're gonna break the team up, but Philly also has kind of been a team like who's been in the conversation since 2017, the year that should have been the MVP season of Carson Wentz. The year they won the Super Bowl, and they've been to another Super Bowl after that, and they've been in the conversation every year. But I won't say Jalen Hurts had a down year last year, but it definitely wasn't the year that he had before.
Oh, he definitely did.
I was trying to be nice because of the lies that I hate black quarterbacks on this program. But he didn't have the best season last year. So how's he going to bounce back from that? Are the Eagles going to give Saquon Barkley enough carries? What's this defense is going to be like? What's the offensive line going to be like? There's no more Jason Kelce there. You got Brandon Graham on the other side. He is, in one of his final years of the season. So I feel like you got two desperate teams in Philadelphia and Dallas. Well, I don't think that, per usual, this is not going to be a division that anybody runs away with. But there's a lot of spotlights on these guys, too. What's going on? Is Nick Sirianni really cheesesteak Matt Nagy? There's a lot of questions here for this Philadelphia Eagles team. I don't feel like too many people are just throwing them in the NFC championship game already. And I think that's a little premature this early in the game. Bang, what you think about the Eagles coming off that failure of last year and what they've got heading into this season?
Man, they lucky they in the division that they in. I believe that they're better than every team in that division. They're lucky that's the case. Because if that wasn't the case, this would be a down year. This team was the blueprint of stack your team on defense and have a quarterback that you can afford. And then you got to pay him and things change. So the hope was them to win that Super Bowl that they went to, or at least go the year before, and that just didn't happen. They faltered. So they have to win now. Now the good thing is Harry Roseman is a great drafter, and he puts himself in position to win. I won't necessarily say that, I won't call it upgrades as of yet. But they was one of those teams from a draft perspective, this past draft, that to me killed the draft, especially from a defensive backfield side of the ball. But yeah, Orlando said it. Jalen Carter, after week 5, he hit that rookie wall. But I believe that he is going to not only bounce back from that, but man, he's going to have a hell of a year. I think that defense is going to be okay. They have all of the pieces in place, and from now on to a couple of years, they have enough young pieces where they're good at. On the offensive side of the ball, there's where all of the questions at. A.J. Brown started to get injured towards the end of the year, and then bitching about not getting the ball.
Yeah.
What's my man name from Alabama that's just disappeared?
Devonta Smith.
Yeah, Devonta Smith. He disappeared. Saquon Barkley. I do like him, but that offensive line is going to have to keep up. And with Travis Kelce not there in the middle, the quarterback of the offensive line is not there.
Jason Kelce.
Yeah, Jason Kelce, excuse me.
There's too many Kelces out here. It's not
too many Kelces. And quite honestly, is Jalen Hurts as good as advertised? He's one of those people where I got to see you do it again. So I think there's a lot of questions, but they're in a division where I believe they're just head and shoulders better than everybody anyway.
You think they're head and shoulders better than Dallas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
If you're just like comparing them to, I'm going off just what Bang just said. If you're going off of, let's just go band for band, right? Running back room is way better in Philadelphia. Better wide receiver core, better offensive line. Even losing Jason Kelsey, they did just draft one in the second round, like you said. Howie Roseman is a good GM. They took
he's really good. He's really good.
Cam Jurgens. They got Cam Jurgens, which, listen, I know it's not Jason Kelsey, but like you got to start somewhere. I think he got drafted in like 2022. I want to say 2022. Yeah,
I think it was 2022. So.
Yeah. So I mean, listen, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are head and shoulders better than everybody else in that division. Now, I do agree they're going to have a regression, but they have the fortune of existing in the NFC East.
We will make our picks in a couple weeks on the I'm Not Gonna Hold You NFL special, which will actually be the 1 year anniversary of the current I'm Not Gonna Hold You crew. We should get a cake or something. We'll figure that out.
That's on you. Put it on the company card.
Yeah. I should put it on the company card. Yeah, get a cake. But let's go to the teams that suck in that division. We're gonna start with the team.
That actually, and I'll tell you why after.
Oh yeah. Well, these niggas stink from at least last year. We got a team that finished third in the NFC East last year. It is the New York Football Giants. They went 6-11, missed the playoffs. Their quarterback Daniel Jones finessed all them niggas after coming off that playoff appearance the year before, where they beat the Minnesota Vikings. He got injured towards the end of the year, towards ACL, so we didn't see much of Daniel Jones. He'll be back. They drafted Malik Neighbors from LSU. They also traded for Brian Burns on the defensive side of the ball. This would be year 2 for the Brian Daboll. Man, and they are the focus of the first ever offseason Hard Knocks, which I said earlier is football porn. I did not think I would care about this show when it got announced, but I have absolutely enjoyed it. For me, the only thing I can say about the scene, they're not going to compete. I think they're stuck in a rock and a hard place because they gave a not good quarterback a lot of money. And so now they're going to have to deal with that. And I think that's really about continue to build. Maybe you can find something out of Daniel Jones. I do believe you're going to see Malik Neighbors is going to be doing a lot of cryptic tweets and Instagram stories by at least week 8 when he realizes that bum ass nigga can't get him the football. I'm going to be interested to see how Burns plays with that defense. I think it's a young, up and coming defense. I want to see how Brian Daboll is going to be in year 2. See how they're going to bounce back. Now, I mean, it's really not too much said about these niggas. I do think they will be the worst team in this division by a wide margin. And like Alice has said in the chat, that O-line is El Garbage. It is terrible. Courtney, what do you think about the New York Football Giants?
I agree with you that they are going to be bad. I am intrigued by some aspects of the team, particularly that defense. Parts of it do intrigue me. That Brian Burns acquisition was solid. I mean, you got Dexter Lawrence in there. I mean, I'm intrigued. Bobby Okereke. Listen, I'm a little intrigued by the New York Giants. That being said, they do have the misfortune of having Daniel Jones. And it doesn't have like an injury guarantee or something in his contract. Like if he does get injured, he's set, right? So that's probably his
Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
He finessed them niggas blind.
Yeah. So I'm like, best case scenario for him, they do have a terrible offensive line. Best case scenario for him is that Drew Lock does end up playing. Yeah, which is crazy. But hey, at least maybe that means we don't have to see Tommy DeVito again. I do feel kind of bad for Malik Neighbors, but you know who I'm really intrigued on, and this is for someone who is very big into fantasy football, so I kind of look at everything through that lens. Wan'Dale Robinson. I want to see what he looks like now that, listen, I don't really know what's going on with Darius Slayton. No more Saquon. You got a rookie wide receiver now coming in. I'm curious to see what Wan'Dale Robinson does now that he is going to have a bigger spotlight on him.
And by the way, Saquon, if you heard the conversation Saquon had with their general manager on Hard Knocks, that was zero chance that nigga coming back. Yeah. Zero. That one thing the episode showed me, they severely did not know how to judge the running back market. And they named all the good things that DeAndre Swift does and why Brian Poles gave him that money, but they didn't decide to even try to hit him up. That's the point to see how these front offices work. Bang, what you think about the Giants' fortunes coming into 2024?
Hey, with the number 1 pick In the 2025 NFL Draft, the Giants select Carson Beck, quarterback,
That's crazy.
Georgia.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, that's where we going.
I want to give Daniel Jones, like, we can't pretend that, like, we haven't seen flashes of Daniel Jones performing well. Like, are we
Flashes will get
all
you
going to
fired.
pretend that, like, the Giants weren't fake decent in 2022?
No, they weren't fake decent. They ran into the frauds of all frauds, the Minnesota Vikings.
Listen, I think that the Giants have a deeper problem than just at their quarterback, especially the way that quarterbacks are the market and the quarterback classes that we have coming up. I just don't know if their problems begin at Daniel Jones.
I agree with you. I don't agree. I don't agree that it starts there. But what's that word we heard throughout the whole season with the Bears? Reset. Drafting the quarterback, get him on a rookie contract.
Thank you, Alex. Flashes sent Justin Fields to Pittsburgh, and he showed way more flashes than Daniel Jones.
So that's a wrap right there. They got Malik Neighbors and a whole bunch of people, and that's where they at right now. That team is going to be the pits. They're going to be terrible. Brian Daboll is going to look.
Crazy. This team Hyatt erasure, and I won't stand for
it. This team is going to look. This team is going to be so terrible that I don't think they're going to be fired because they are terrible. They're going to be fired because people saw how terrible the decision making was. That's why I think they're going to get fired. Hard Knocks.
The real issue is that because, again, like we just said, Daniel Jones is not necessarily the beginning of this problem, but also he kind of is because he's taking up like 20% of the fucking cap space, you know? Like,
hey, problem is that Orlando said Neighbors was fit. Remember, Neighbors said he's putting up a 10K bet on who gonna win off his rookie year. As soon as that nigga got drafted, he said, "Yeah, we ain't doing that bet no more." Yeah, you know, Daniel Jones throwing you.
We ain't doing that.
You know, Daniel Jones is throwing you. That's why. Like, and it's just look, man. I'm gonna say this about Malik Neighbors and even Daniel Jones. If you gonna be bad, at least be bad in a city like New York City. It's better than being bad in a bum city. You could be bad in Minneapolis. You know what I'm saying? Like you could be bad.
Are there baddies in Minneapolis, St. Paul? I've never been.
Are there what?
Are there baddies in Minneapolis, St. Paul?
I didn't see anyone out there, but also it was negative.
I'm sure
it was also negative 10 degrees. So
you can find you a bad one in Idaho. Like, yes.
I didn't see them. I'm not saying they're not there. I didn't see them. But look,
we got to ask the GD.
Hey, but see, GDs who moved to Minneapolis getting their life together. You know, that's like the retreat for GDs.
And they find, you know what? Let me shut up. I almost said something insensitive. Let's move on.
All right, man. Let's move on to our final team in the NFC East. This team finished with the worst record in the division. They went 4-13, which got them the number 2 pick in the NFL draft. They had them draft a quarterback who was not Caleb Williams, but he was a Heisman winner last year, Mr. Jaylen Daniels. They have Riverboat Ron was fired last year. They've got Dan Quinn, new head coach. Magic Johnson is part of the new team ownership. They've got a whole bunch of things going over there in Landover, because it's not the nation's capital. It's fucking Landover, Maryland, which is an hour outside of DC, which I found out last year. And made me almost late to the game, but we're not going to rant about that for the millionth time. I will know better when I go again in October. But they got Jaylen Daniels. They've got a new coach, new ownership. I think this team, I'm not going to go as far as call them a sneaky team. I'm not going to go that far, but I do believe this team. Okay. He said GDs will marry a white down there. Okay.
That's why I said I didn't want to be insensitive. It's a particular type of. It's a particular type too, so let me shut up.
You're doing a lot, but
yeah. No, he ain't. No, he ain't.
But I think that, you know, this team is going to be entertaining. Like, I don't think Jaylen Daniels is a bad quarterback at all. I think Jaylen Daniels is just, when you have a guy like Caleb Williams, you're going to get overshadowed. But I think he's going to be in a team that's ready to win, or at least build a culture to winning. You got Scary Terry, who's going to be joining up with him. So they won 4 games last year. You can sell me on 6. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 7 wouldn't shock me whatsoever. I think that this is going to be at least offensively a fun team to watch this year. Courtney, what do you think about the Commandos out there?
I think the Commanders are going to annoy the shit out of teams this season. Kind of like, you know how the Cardinals beat the Cowboys? I know it's kind of early in the season, but like, you know how like absolutely pesky the Cardinals were last season? It's kind of giving flashes of that for me. Again, I legitimately fear for Jayden Daniels' life behind that offensive line. Sun Devil legend, even though, you know, we're not going to talk about, you know, the later years of his college career. But, you know, I'm really high on Jayden Daniels, again, as someone who is a fantasy football enthusiast. I am very high on him for my team. He's kind of like Anthony Richardson, like somebody that I could definitely pick up in the later rounds, you know, with ease, in my opinion. But there's a lot of upside there. There's a lot of upside there with this team. Mostly, God, I want Terry McLaurin to have a good team so bad. And I'm hoping that, and listen, since Kirk Cousins left, I want to say that Washington has gone through 16 quarterbacks.
It's been around that.
17. It's been a lot. Okay. So I really just want this to be the one for Jayden Daniels' sake, because I really like him. I worry about Cliff Kingsbury kind of running that offense. Is it Brian Johnson now in Washington now as well? So that concerns me a little bit. I'm curious to see what
Brian Johnson, you talking about the offensive coordinator?
Yeah.
No, that nigga stayed in Detroit.
No?
Yeah, that nigga stayed in Detroit.
I really thought Brian Johnson was in Washington now.
That nigga's like, I'm gonna try to win a bowl and then pick a better team.
That's fair. That's fair. Either way, I'm still really worried about what this scheme is going to look like with Cliff Kingsbury.
I'll be worried too, because they only used him to try to poach Caleb Williams. They weren't actually trying to hire, buddy. That's all that was. But yeah, Bang, we're gonna close this out. What do you think about the team from the city you used to live at?
They will be my surprise team in the NFL. I think they're going to be better than what people think. I believe that their wide receiver room is going to be very helpful. If Jaylen Daniels is who they say is, that wide receiver room is going to look and be very happy. Running back wise, I want to see what Austin Eckler, if healthy, what he could do for that team out the backfield, not running through the tackles, but extending the play, screens, and all of those things. Defensively, you have Dan Quinn, who's a hell of a defensive coach, and they do have some defensive pieces there with Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne. So I think this team is going to be better than what people think. I'm not saying they're going to go to the playoffs and all of that, but they're going to be highly competitive. Yeah, they're going to be highly competitive, and I do like this Washington Commanders team.
Also, you just tried to gaslight me, Scott. You're thinking of Ben Johnson, okay? I'm talking about Brian Johnson from the Eagles.
You definitely said Ben Johnson, though.
I said Brian. Either way.
I thought you said Brian myself, but
she said Brian.
Thank you. You tried to gaslight me. That's crazy.
You said Ben Johnson.
My fault. Yeah, that Cliff Kingsbury would be Brian Johnson. I hope that they'll be very happy together.
I definitely thought you said Ben, but I'll take the L.
No, you're good. I mean, listen, too many niggas Ben Johnson.
But that is inside the NFC East, man. Next week we'll be doing the Courtney's favorite division, the NFC South. We'll be breaking that down next week. By the way, next week we are on Thursday, not Friday, because I will be traveling on Friday. So next Thursday. 2 more topics, and we're gonna wrap up this edition of I'm Not Gonna Hold You, man. Let's talk about a show that is hit Netflix. Peyton Manning, not even quietly anymore. Peyton Manning's Omaha Productions have been bodying the sports content production game right now. Of course, they got the Manning cast on ESPN doing Monday Night Football. They've got the whole bunch of Peyton's Places thing he does on ESPN Plus. And of course, last year he debuted his documentary reality show type series called Quarterback last year, which focused on Patrick Mahomes, Marcus Mariota, and Kirk Cousins. Basically, went through the whole preparation of the season and eventually up to Patton and winning the Super Bowl. Now this year they had problems all last year trying to find quarterbacks to actually be on season 2 of quarterbacks. So since they couldn't find any, they pivoted and they made receiver. And this year they picked 6 receivers, really 5, 1 tight end. It was George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Justin Jefferson, and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and my man Devontae Adams. I finished all 8 episodes today, man. It was really, really entertaining. I actually thought this one was a little better than last year because wide receivers are divas and they're always more entertaining than quarterbacks are. So I thought this was really entertaining. You can see Devontae Adams, how much that nigga hated Jimmy G. I think you just saw the team in general, how they switched up when Antonio Pierce became the coach and how the whole vibe switched up. You know, where Devontae is damn near begging Aaron Rodgers to get him to the Jets at that one part of the year, which is hilarious. I love the Amon-Ra St. Brown stuff. You really got a good look into his family. His father, he's definitely a character. My favorite part. Drink some Coke. Drink some Coke. You know, we saw his girlfriend, his mom, and just saw all the love they have with them and just show everything with that. Justin Jefferson, who is my favorite player to watch on the wide receiver, even though he is on the ops. It was great to see that. And then, of course, Deebo Samuel and George Kittle was very entertaining, leading up to their Super Bowl loss to the Chiefs. I just thought it was a real good watch. I think the NFL was really, really bodying this off the field content, something that the NBA and especially Major League Baseball are really lacking in that department. I thought it was entertaining. I hope that there'll be more wide receivers who want to get on this next year because there's a whole bunch of wide receivers I would like to see on their next season. I finished all episodes. Bang, did you get a chance to finish it? And if not, or if you did, what'd you think about it?
I didn't finish it yet, but I thought it was interesting because wide receivers are the divas. Pass catchers, you know, is what this is because the George Kittle thing is weird. I think we was talking in the chat saying like, yo, we didn't see any black people at his party or whatever, which I thought was wild because I was like, yo, Joey Bosa came out for this one. I was like, oh, snap. The Devontae Adams thing, now that's a bit weird. That one I was like, okay, don't reveal everything. Because Devontae Adams clearly don't want to be with the Raiders. even when shit started to go well, it was clear, I don't want to be here. That man basically was begging, as you said, Aaron Rodgers, man, do something. I ain't trying to be here. That man said he signed off on Jimmy G getting benched, and it was the best thing that happened, especially if they wanted to keep me here. Amon-Ra St. Brown made me a fan of him, even though I hate the Detroit Lions. That's what I hate about this show. I can't believe that I became a fan of a Detroit Lion. It made him likable. They said that man tore his like abdominal or something like that off the bone during week 4.
He had the hands, feet, and like face sickness, which I never heard of.
Yeah, cooties. Like I heard of that before.
Mouth disease. I know you ain't got kids, but that's like a thing, Scott.
I've never heard of it before.
I was like, yo, my man got mega cooties and he played.
Wait, but Bang, I have to ask now.
What's up?
Do you or do you not give a damn about the Detroit Lions now?
I still don't give a damn about the Detroit Lions.
But you got to think about it. You got to think about it.
No. I don't give a damn about the Detroit Lions. But I rock with Amon-Ra St. Brown heavy. He's got a fan in me.
He's a cool nigga.
German fluently. That's wild.
Yeah. I thought that was kind of cool though. The way that the way that his mom made him speak that so he can learn other languages. I thought his relationship with his girlfriend was cool to watch. Unlike the Kittle thing was a little weird to me. But I'm gonna let Courtney go to that.
I told you, I texted you separately in our group chat. But like, you know how you can just tell that someone's just like putting on for the cameras? Like it really felt like very Real Housewives audition tape. Like that's exactly how it felt watching there. And I was like, I could have done without this, you know?
Yep.
I felt the same way, no offense to Patrick Mahomes, because I do like him as a person, but I felt the same way watching their segment on quarterback.
Performative. It's definitely felt very performative.
They PR'd up. 100%.
And that's what, listen, I get it. He's a business. It's a brand. But like, it just felt so forced. I'm like, I think y'all are cool. You know, your public persona is cool. But then when you start to peel back the layers, it just felt very forced. And
Alex, I don't
think-
want to say he's 100%. He smoked weed with a lot of black people in Iowa. I'm telling you.
I don't think he is. His wife definitely says nigger under her breath.
oh my God.
100%. There's not a doubt in my mind. There's not a doubt in my mind that she says that. Hey man, it is what it is. It is what it is. Somebody gotta say it.
Reflected on this show.
Somebody
the beliefs.
No, these are my beliefs. As a nigga that owns this network, yes, those are my beliefs. That's how I think. She just give off that vibe, like she cool. Like you pissed off.
I just thought, okay, so random quasi-related. When I was watching the show and she was talking about how, it's George's birthday. Well, she's talking to Deebo Samuel's girl.
Yeah.
Why does she not know about this in advance? You're just bringing it up at the game. Y'all aren't cool like that. But again, you notice things when they're showing pictures, like at Christian McCaffrey's wedding. Where are your black teammates? You got Greg Olsen there. You got Greg Olsen there. Where's Brandon Ayuk? Where's Deebo? Where are they? I'm just asking questions. I'm just asking questions. Maybe they're not close like that, but that does kind of seem to be a running theme. I'm just noticing things. That's all.
Overall, man, I thought it was entertaining. I hope they do more of it, man. One last topic. I know we got to get up out of here, man. We ain't got to make this one too long, man. Sheduer Sanders, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, they had their press conference. I think it was the Big Ten Media Day or whatever. And, you know, they're already in the news. And, you know, Sheduer's mastered the condescending asshole look that he got. Like, he's got it down pat, like, for sure. They're asking about, like, all the stuff coming in. And Sheduer's like, hey, we everybody Super Bowl. And, you know, Deion just, you know, went double down on that as well. I feel like this is a question that we kind of all know the answer to. Like, as far as, do you think they're putting too much dip on their chip because they didn't win a lot of games last year? They started off real well, and they started playing the more ranked teams. They got their asses beat. The reason why I don't think they're putting too much dip on their chip because this is just who the Sanders family are. That's who they are. And one thing you got to respect about them, win or lose, they're going to talk that way. And if I'm Sheduer's a hooper anyway. So he's going to go out there and play. And he does know that it kind of is a Super Bowl because teams want to make a statement because, like Prime said last year, they're not thinking about beating Colorado. They just want to say they're beating Deion. So I think that if anything, that they're hyping this thing up. But I honestly don't have a problem, man. This is, you know, just a regular day when it comes to the Sanders. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I ain't got no problem with that at all because he's right. Anytime you play Deion Sanders and him, the names that they have, the Sanders name and all of that, that is the Super Bowl. You can be the best team in the Big 12, but you're going to take it up a notch just to try to beat them. Go look at Oregon. Look at what Oregon did to them last season. And they played that game like it was a Super Bowl. They blew that shit up. So he was right. It is what it is. It's nothing against anybody else, but yeah, you're going to see Sheduer, who is a Heisman Trophy candidate, and his daddy is a Super Bowl. It is what it is.
Go ahead, Courtney. What you think? We're going to wrap this up.
I mean, listen, I don't have too many thoughts, but all I'm saying is you do what you want when DraftKings got you plus 380 odds as the number one pick in the draft.
Do what you want when you popping.
Do what you want when you popping. That's really all I got to say. Also, Cam Ward, relax. That's all I do. Let's relax.
Oh man, that's hilarious. We gonna wrap this up, man. I know Courtney and Bang gotta go, so we gonna wrap this up. We appreciate everybody for watching this episode once again, man. Next week we'll be on air on Thursday, not Friday. Should have the whole gang there, so you can follow. Go ahead, Courtney. You gotta say something?
Yeah. I got something real quick. It is MLB All-Star Weekend here in Dallas. I will be boots on the ground at MLB All-Star Village basically all weekend. If you see me around town in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, please come up, say hello to me. Let's get a pick in. Let's talk. I will be at the MLB Bro for any of our guys watching. Shout out to Dante. I will be at the MLB All-Star Media Party tomorrow. So if you're there, drop me a line. Let's link up. Let's connect. Let's represent more of black people in sports media.
And we're going to recap All-Star next Thursday, man. So you can follow Courtney on all social media platforms and 100 Collar Bro. You can follow Bang at JR Bang on all social media platforms. And, of course, you can follow me at Barberchair Scott on all social media platforms. Follow the Barbers Chair Network at Barbers Chair Net. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barbers Chair Network. Visit our website, thebcnet.com. Also get in tune with the channel that we will have the show on each and every week. That is H&B Media. You can follow them at H&B Media TV on Twitter and at H&B Media on Instagram, man. So we appreciate all y'all. We hope that y'all have a very fun weekend. Enjoy everything, and we up out of here, man.